Welcome to our virtual seminar. My name is Janice Wong, and I'm a member of the NECF Malaysia Women Commission. I will be your host for tonight, and co-hosting with me is our chairperson, Grace He. She will appear later. So if you don't know what NECF stands for, it's the National Evangelical Christian Fellowship for Malaysia. So most of the evangelical churches are members of NECF, including also some individuals and other organizations of Christians. We are the Women Commission. So the Women Commission focuses on women matters and bringing up women leaders and issues concerning Christian women all over Malaysia. So we also have different chapters in different towns. If you're interested in that, please do contact us. And you can contact us via our Facebook page. If you go on Facebook and you look for NECF Women Commission, you will find our page. And please do join our community there, and you will get notification on all our events and also any sharing articles that we find interesting for Christian women in Malaysia. Okay, may I invite Grace to continue with tonight's session?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. As Janice says, our intention is basically to expose us as Christian women as much as possible to the issues that faces us in our nation. And this metaverse is one of those exposure moments where it's so new that we really don't know what's occurring, what's the update. And therefore, this is all about listening to it. So in the interest of knowing everyone, a little bit of everyone that is logged in, we have planned a very simple 3-question poll that we solicit your help to fill up. So let's launch the poll. You will be able to quickly answer that. It will appear now on your screen. So can you click your answers? The first 2 are basically yes, no question. And the third one is a multiple choice. The first question is, do you know what is Metaverse before signing up for this talk? Yes or no? Okay, we are getting a lot of no's, which is wonderful in a way because it meets the intent for why we are bringing it to the front for our consideration. There are some that said yes, so that's very interesting as well. But you can see that the majority clearly has no experience with Metaverse. So this talk is really going to be very interesting for all of us. The second question is, have you ever entered a Metaverse by yourself? Okay, not looking over somebody, but you yourself have actually logged in and gone into a metaverse. And 94% is saying no. That includes me. And the treat tonight is we are going to offer you an opportunity to enter if you have time after this meeting, okay? Instructions will be given to you. The third question, we wanted to really know you. Okay, we've got some pastors, 20%. We've got parents, wonderful. We should be all interested in that. You want to learn, wonderful. We've got some young adults, okay? 9%, five of you. We've got no youth present. And we've got some seniors, yay! Exactly what I think we would like to see, a good spectrum of believers logging in. All right, with that, thank you so much. I think we are on the right track in terms of knowing that we are all learners in this journey. Introduce our sister and speaker, Wong Siew Lee. She's the co-founder of the Mandarin Metaverse Christian Fellowship, started in February of 2022. And of great interest to us, she this year was certified a Metaverse Expert. Amongst us, she's an expert. She also holds an MBA and has a Bachelor in Commerce. She's now studying for Masters of Arts in Church Counseling. She attends the Chinese Methodist Church. So without much ado, I'd like to invite Siew Lee to go ahead and share her message. We'll interact with her later on the Q&A, but I wanted to give her maximum time to just go ahead. Please proceed.
Shalom and good evening to all. First, I would like to thank NECF Women Commission for the invitation for me to share my experience with you all. I'm not any pastor or theologian, so today I will focus my sharing mainly on my experience in Metaverse Christian Fellowship and also the information that I have learned so far. Let me introduce myself. I'm Siew Lee, married with 2 teens, currently staying in Rawang and worshiping in Country Home Chinese Methodist Church. I'm also serving as a volunteer secretary for Hospital Ministry Resources, and I'm one of the co-founding members for the Mandarin Christian Fellowship in Metaverse. I usually share and converse in Mandarin, so I would like to apologize if my English is not so fluent when I share later. However, please feel free to ask any questions during Q&A session later, or you can also type your questions in the Zoom chat box. Then I can have a look later. There may be some new terminology that you will be hearing for the first time during my sharing, but not to worry. I will try to explain it as simple as possible. So what is Metaverse? Brief explaining is the Metaverse is actually a set of interconnecting interconnected 3D virtual worlds or spaces where people come together to connect, to interact, and also to engage in various activities in real time. And this virtual world and spaces can be actually accessed using virtual reality headset. We call it VR headset. In some cases, we also can access through laptops, browsers, or mobile devices. I'm not sure whether if you notice, but the term metaverse has gained increasingly popularity since early last year. It has attracted people from the businesses and the education field and even churches who are now exploring this platform. To be very frank, from my personal view, the metaverse is not yet in a mature state. But however, it's believed that the number of users in the metaverse will increase over time when the supporting technologies of metaverse and internet bandwidth become more mature. I believe the process will estimated take about 5 to 10 years' time. The term metaverse was actually coined 31 years ago in 1992 by author Neil Stephenson in his science fiction novel Snow Crash. And the concept of metaverse also appeared in the blockbuster film Matrix. Following that, the novel and movie Ready Player One actually played a significant role in popularizing the idea of metaverse. And the concept metaverse also featured in the movie Avatar and in the current music video released by the Chinese pop star Gems, Deng Ziqi. So after all these years, you may wondering why the terms metaverse has become popular once again. So let's look at the Google trend. If you notice from the Google trend graph, the term metaverse started to gain traction during the Roblox IPO on March 11, 2021. Roblox is actually an online gaming platform primarily designed for the younger user, aged between around 9 to 12 or even younger. And the preliminary concepts and elements of Metaverse were actually mentioned and introduced in Roblox prospectus during their IPO. So this is the reason why people began to search and also pay attention to the term Metaverse once again. So as you can see in the Google Trends search, the term Metaverse spiked again on October 28, 2021, when Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg announced the rebranding of his group company from Facebook to Meta. He also mentioned about his plan to add new tools and also to invest around 150 million to rebuild the metaverse and also to train the next generation of creators. And during the peak of metaverse popularity period, we initiated the Mandarin Christian Fellowship in the metaverse. This is a graph to show you all the daily active users of Roblox. The users are mainly between the age of 9 to 12 and even younger. So you might want to check with your kids or your grandkids. You'll be surprised to find out that many of them are already engaged with the metaverse through this game and in their device on their devices. And I noticed that last year Roblox has about I think about 35 million of daily active users, but it has increased to more than 66 million daily active users as of quarter two this year. So if some of you are wondering how Roblox looks like, I will show you a short video clip to give you a glimpse of it. It's about around 1 minute's video. And please keep in mind that there are actually more than 100 metaverse platforms out there. Roblox is just one of them, which has the combination of gaming function and also strong community and social elements.
Final objective located. Move it!
So how can we access into the metaverse? This actually depends on which virtual world or metaverse platform that you wanted to join or to enter. Using VR headset will be the most immersive way for us to experience the metaverse actually. But for some metaverse platform, we can still have the options to access to it via our PC browser or even our mobile devices, like most of the metaverse gaming platform. But of course, the experience difference. This is Oculus Quest 2 VR headset. It's the VR headset that I'm currently using. The price is ranging from around RM 1006 to RM 2002. To be frank, I don't really feel comfortable wearing it. It's quite heavy, and I will feel dizzy after wearing it for a while. During the initial stage, but I'm considered used to it now. But yet I will only wear it when necessary, mainly when I lead the Christian Fellowship or when I join in VR tour or use it for my own VR workout exercise. But you'll be surprised that those user in Metaverse, they can actually wear this VR headset for a very long period of hours. Some virtuals are actually for business and meeting and training purposes. Some are for social networking, which we can actually meet new friends and network with them. Some are for gaming purposes. Some are for fitness classes or traveling. Some for entertainments, including organizing concerts, karaoke, etc. This is just an overview chart for your information. I won't go into details here, but from this chart, I just want to show you that there are actually currently 154 active and also under development virtual worlds metaverse platform out there. They can actually separate it into 4 main segments, and you can see each red dots actually represents a metaverse platform. The size of the dots indicating the number of the monthly active users. So if the size of dots are bigger, then they have more monthly active users. For example, Roblox has around over 200 million monthly active users. Minecraft have around 177 million monthly active users, and Fortnite has around 80.4 million monthly active users. The top right segment of the graph refers to the virtual world, which we can access through a browser. We call it browser-based virtual world. You no need a VR headset to enter. You just need to enter via your laptop or even mobile devices. So this segment currently has the most active users. So some of the examples are in Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, Second Life. And the bottom right segment refers to virtual world, which can only accessible through VR headset, such as Red Rooms, Owl Space, VR Chat. And top left segment refer to blockchain browser-based virtual world, like Decentraland and Sandbox. And bottom left segment refers to blockchain VR-based virtual world like Spatial. For the information of all, for us to be in each metaverse, we will need to register an account and create an account. Then after that, we create our own avatar, which is the digital version of ourselves representing us in the metaverse. We can actually create an image that is closest to ourselves, or we can choose to create any image that we want to portray in the metaverse. So this is my avatar. You can see all these are my avatars. I use the name Grace WSL in Metaverse because my Chinese name Siew Lee may not be easy to be may not be so easy to be pronounced by some of the friends from different countries. So at the current moment, because all the Metaverse platforms is still not linked, so in each Metaverse, I have to create a separate avatar's appearance. And this is how it looks like in Horizon Venue, in Red Room, in Spatial, in Engage, in VR Chat. Like in Infiniverse, they don't have a human-like avatar, so I need to choose a robot-based avatar to represent myself. So when we started to explore different metaverse platform through our headsets, we found out that actually there are many so-called world in metaverse built by different people, organization for different purposes. And these are casinos in the metaverse, in Decentraland and also in our space. And we noticed that casinos are the spots of attraction for most people together. Of course, there are also spaces for avatars to hang out, like karaoke's, campfires, and disco. So sometimes we also go into this world to meet new friends, to get connected to some of the avatars in there. With hope that one day we can also invite them to our Christian Fellowship. There are so many places of gathering for the LGBTQ community. BTQ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning community. These are just some of the examples of their world. And this was one of the session where I just popped into their event to listen to one of the transgender talk organized in Spatial. This is Infiniverse. Infiniverse is a space that we can only access via VR headset. So you can see from this photo, there is a profile photo to each floor. You can see all the profile photo to each floor. This representing the buyer who actually purchased the unit. So Infiniverse will give free around 500 meta coins to each person who sign up this metaverse, and with that free 500 meta coins, I only can manage to purchase one unit of apartment like this, which is very far away from town. So Infiniverse is already like a township. So, for example, if I would like to purchase a unit of apartment or even storefront at a prime location, then I have to purchase additional meta coins. But besides commercial storefronts and also apartments, we also notice that there are also churches who purchase few units of apartments as a gathering places for their church community in Infiniverse. This was the Digital Fashion Week organized in Spatial this year. So every time we actually can choose to wear our own free clothing in Metaverse, or we also can purchase different fashion clothing as well. We also noticed that different branding companies is using Metaverse as their another promotional platform. For example, like Runway Fashion Magazine is having their 3D Metaverse publication just to exhibit different brands like LV, Chanel, Fendi, Versace, etc. In the Metaverse. So I can just pop into their exhibit hall and have a look. There are also places of worship of different faith in Metaverse. Number one, this is the world for meditation where avatars come together to meditate. Number two is the world created by a Buddhist friend on a Buddhist cycle of rebirth. So number three here is the cinema world, created to air movie related to the 7 days Adventists. And number four here is another place of worship in our space. This is a place of worship, Buddhaverse in Spatial. This is the Buddhist Dharma Metaverse by Fo Guanghui. And this was a talk by Dalai Lama in Horizon Venue early last year. There are also mosques in Metaverse. So this is one of the malls who organized quite a lot of talks and events in our space previously. So as we know that usually in physical world, we can't just simply step into a mosque, but in Metaverse, we can do that. This is the poster. Jesus is a Muslim display at the entrance of the mosque in our space. And they actually welcome open session of faith discussion and debates in their space. This is a Hindu temple in Spatial. So after exploring all this world, we felt that actually there's a need for Christian group or even church in the Metaverse. At least some Christian voices and influences are really needed in the Metaverse space. These are some of the English-speaking churches. For example, VR Church in our space, in VR Chat. This is Cornerstone Church in our space. This is Life Church, Sinners Church Campus, One Community Church, and Lakeland Community Church. One of the memorable incidents I witnessed in Life Church is when one of the avatar actually raised up her hand to accept the Lord during the altar call after one of the worship session. Later, I noticed that the usher brought her to a corner to pray for her. So this is VR Church in VR Chat, in Red Room, and Horizon Venue, in Infinibus. These are some of the Indonesian churches in Metaverse. And some churches also runs alpha course in the Metaverse. So we noticed that there are quite a lot of English-speaking churches in Metaverse, but at the beginning of last year, there's still no gathering places for the Mandarin-speaking group. We found a Mandarin church space by Taiwan NGO, but there's no gathering of avatar yet at that time. And we also found a Hong Kong Cantonese Metaverse church, but they only organize event once or twice a year during festive season like Easter or Christmas. So when my husband started to explore and try to build a church in our space, he actually worked together with his Taiwan and also some of the Malaysians and Singapore friends. They met in our space actually. So the whole process took them about a month from idea crafting until completion of the whole space building. So the whole initial purpose of building this church space is purely exploratory purposes. And the first Mandarin speaking Christian Fellowship gathering started in the February last year. So until today is about 1.5 year now. I think it's around 78 weeks of fellowship as of now. We still make a point to meet every Sunday without stop. The attendance is actually vary from week to week. Averagely, we have around 5 to the most maybe 12 or 15 people who join us. But what kept us going is almost every session, there are non-believers who just pop in to join us, whether it's during the fellowship or after the fellowship. This was the photo and poster of our first anniversary. I actually can name them one by one. You can see all the faces of different avatars. Every avatar is a Chinese-speaking person and friend that join us for CF throughout the 1 year. They are from different countries. Some of them are pastors, some of them are theologians, some are seminary students, some are doctors, senior citizens, some are students, and many are non-believers actually. We started our CF in our space, as you've seen just now, but because Microsoft closed down our space in March this year, so we shifted our weekly CF gathering to other metaverse like Spatial and also Engage VR. Some will ask, what is our mission and objective of the Mandarin Christian Fellowship in Metaverse? First is actually mission field. Our target is to reach out to the user inside Metaverse and not those who are currently attending physical churches. Second is for network. There are not many Christians in Metaverse, so we are trying to create a community platform for Christian avatars to gather and be connected from all over the world so that we can learn from each other and also serve together. Third, resources. We hope to support and also provide resources to churches, pastors, Christians, leaders who are keen to explore this mission field. So we'll share with them our experience like today. So if they are keen to reach out and also serve in the area, we can actually discuss and work together with them and also share some resources and experiences that we have so that it will be we'll prepare them for the mission field in Metaverse. From what I know, these are some of the current ministry platforms used in Metaverse. It's like Our Space, Spatial, Engage VR, VR Chat, Big Screen, Horizon World, Roblox, Red Room, Multiverse, Final Fantasy, Rust, and I believe there are more to come actually. As of now, there are a few types of ministry approach in the Metaverse. First, the creator will choose, the first type will be the creator will choose a Metaverse platform and started to build their spaces, world or church, or even Bible concept world for people to visit. But they don't have any Christian gathering or event held in the particular world. And second type is some individuals will go into different metaverse with hope that they can start some faith conversation with people over there, and also to build friendship in their in the metaverse. Third type is like fellowship, is like our Christian fellowship. We are from different places and churches, but we gather to have active fellowship weekly, to worship, to learn of God's word, to share, and also to have fellowship. Sometimes we will go into other places together to meet new friends as well. The fourth type is hybrid metaverse churches. These are like Cornerstone Church, Lakeland Church, Life Church. These are the churches that they already have their physical church and worship service, but they use Metaverse as the additional digital platform to stream their service or to become their another extended ministry for the church and also mission. They usually have a team of them who will be in the Metaverse, like pastors, ushers, and some volunteers in Metaverse. And the fifth type is a full VR Metaverse church, like VR MMO church, which is started by Pastor DJ Soto in year 2016. They don't have any physical church service actually. They believe that a VR church is already sufficient to carry out all the function and mission of the church. These are some of the photos of our Christian fellowship. This is a worship leading session by me in our space. This is a sharing and prayer session by pastor. This is a message sharing session by STM lecturer. This is a testimony time. We also built a basketball court next to our church so that all can play together after fellowship. We also link with the spaces built by other Christian creators, and so that we can bring friends to visit Noah's Ark, to cross the Red Sea, to even organize study tour to visit the Sea of Galilee, to visit Jerusalem. We also try to stream alpha video, especially for the non-believers. We organize special talks. We also organize Mooncake Festival and Chap Gourmet, and we create one big moon in the Metaverse during Mid-Autumn Festival, so that with a press of the button, we can actually reach the moon in a second. Of course, we also make conscious effort to visit our friends in other world. This is our first Christmas caroling session that we organized last year in Metaverse. These are some of the world of our friends. Here are some video for you all to have clearer picture of our gathering. Due to time, I will just share part of the videos. This is in our space.
求主恩高讲员的口，打开我们每一个人的心灵，让你的话语可以进入我们的心。我们要将以下团契的时光完全交托仰望在你的圣手当中，求你来引领我们，保守我们，与我们同在。祷告，奉主耶稣基督圣名求的，阿们。
我们的身份是神的儿女，我们也继续要为主做盐发光。我们以这首诗歌来开始我们今天。 的团契。
地展现你恩典，彼此相爱改变世界，献上生命。
好，各位朋友、弟兄姐妹，好，平安。啊，
平安。
我做一个祷告先好不好？
好的。
我亲爱的天父，我们谢谢你这个聚会，我们能够一起的交流，通过你的话语鼓励我们更加去认识到耶稣是那么爱我们。而今天的这个题目叫做元宇宙里的海星，就是有点像海星策略这样子，就是大家百花齐放的方式呢，就是去把耶稣的爱传出去。所以基本上我把就是今天的分享就暂时就停在这边。
然后我们就前往外面的空间然后我们就有一个交流，然后自我介绍的时间。好，来，我们一起过来，再一起过来这里。
OK， 好，这样子不要动咯，这样子好，等一下哦，来，3、2、1。
求主恩膏。
Okay, this now was in our space. This is our Christian Fellowship in Spatial. We are streaming the alpha video in Spatial
拥
actually.
有信仰，成为基督徒意味着什么？圣经里的约翰福音是这么说的：凡接待他的，就是信他名的人，他就赐他们权柄做上帝的儿女。这是一种最亲密的家庭关系。
圣经还把它形容成情人或朋友，甚至将它比喻成夫妻，这是一种非常亲密的关系。如果你已经结婚了，你当然知道自己结婚了。
同样的，如果你是基督徒，上帝也希望你能够肯定自己有上帝儿女的身份。使徒约翰说：我将这些话写给你们这些相信耶稣的人，是要叫你们知道自己有永生。你可以确定自己是基督徒，你可以确定自己和上帝建立了关系，你可以确定自己是有永生的。
And this is our Christian Fellowship gathering in Engage VR. So you can notice that in different metaverse platform, our avatars are different. Some even with legs or without legs, and the appearance are different as well. So as for conclusion, we know that the future is actually unknown, and there will be many more new things that will keep on emerging. But we notice that for people and churches who choose to access the metaverse, are usually to facilitate three kinds of needs. First is for those who that is in location where they are potentially unsafe. Unsafe can be politically unsafe or psychological unsafe or even feeling not so comfortable in the physical world. Second will be expensive. So mission trip and study tour or study trip to Jerusalem, overseas meetings can be very, very expensive. But with VR headset, you can just put on your headset and you can just be there at a very low cost. And thirdly, it's for the impossible tasks. For example, like when you put on your headset, you can just being into space where you can have Moses right beside you when you cross the Red Sea, or being there when Jesus was crucified, etc. So no matter what medium that we're using to work, to play, or to worship, and also to live our lives, we have to remember that we are still called to be holy. Our primary and identity is still the child of God. And we also have to learn to perceive everyone in every space as equally important. So if we are those who are already back for physical church service, we have to learn to care for those who are still worshipping online and those who are in metaverse as well. So as for us individually, especially parents, us as parents or pastors or church leaders, let us get ourselves prepared and equipped from time to time by non-stop learning. We can read up more books or attending talks like this to keep us up to date on what is happening in our world. And we need to learn to perceive every new ministry or every channel or even technology as an extended arm to complement our church existing ministry, to complement what we are doing now in church, and not to consider them as a competition. And we know that new situations often require new tools and also new wisdoms. So prayer is very important. We must pray for God's guidance. So if you feel that metaverse is not what you are called to go in, actually it's okay. I always tell people that every one of us are called into different places, but with the same mission. So our time on earth is limited. So we just have to reach out to those who are near us, in our family, in our neighborhood, in our workplace, in our market, in our school, etc. So thanks for having me. That's all for my sharing today. God bless.
Thank you so much, Siew Lee. I think now we can do the bit of the unveiling. Janice, we could spotlight Janice and also Siew Lee. Siew Lee is in avatar form.
Yep.
So, there she is. Let's give her applause. Thank you so much for that wonderful sharing, Siew Lee. I learned so much just listening to it. In fact, I got many questions and so do the others. Janice, what did you think of her talk?
I learned so much. I didn't know so much was already going on, but just a kind of joke. I was thinking that property, even in virtual reality, is expensive. Yeah, but I found that the users like crossing the Red Sea with Moses and being there with Jesus at crucifixion, that is amazing. Or visiting Israel, I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and to be able to see the moon, and mooncake festival instead of not pots and pans when I was young to get the moon to appear.
So yeah, Siew went back into her avatar form.
Yeah. Are
Yeah,
you
I'm just-
preferring Siew Lee to be in avatar form?
No, it's okay. I can. Yeah, I'm turning back to human faces again. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there are quite a lot of questions already from the floor. And so let me just take one that is actually quite, I think, important and basic, because many people are still learning. Katrina was asking, if we want to remain anonymous, will people, like, if you want to hunt you down the IP address, can we be found if we really want to be anonymous?
I think at the moment it depends on which metaverse that you're going into, because some just now when I show you the chart, right, the metaverse actually separate to non-blockchain and blockchain. Non-blockchain means it's actually belongs to companies like Facebook company. They have their own metaverse. Our space is actually belongs to Microsoft. So if the company want to track you down, they can, because when you register the account, they will know where are you. But in between avatars, it's like when you log in, then I log in. I won't know where are you from unless you reveal or unless you introduce yourself.
So it is possible to remain anonymous, which was a related question, because one of your conclusion was that, individuals from restricted countries, for example, wanting to hear the gospel and entering church, whether they would be traceable and so on. But if it is possible, then we actually opening up the gospel to some of these spaces, countries. Yeah, it's a wonderful possibility.
And because in metaverse, it doesn't belong to any country, so we are not in any boundary. We are not ruled by any the rules of any countries. So when we enter spatial, we enter into the space. Although I'm a Malaysian, and maybe I met someone from different countries in the particular platform, we are not governed by any countries rules from other of the country. That's why we can actually share our faith or share our experience and testimony in there. Unless somebody want to track us down, they can as well through our conversation. It depends on how much you want to reveal yourself or how much you want to reveal your friends. So yeah, there is a risk there, but there is also possibility of just keep yourself anonymous. So usually inside, we won't ask so much unless they reveal. We just want to make everyone comfortable until a stage that they want to reveal themselves, then we'll proceed further.
Yeah, so the question by Jessie is it possible that some avatar do not state their real gender? I mean, that's a total possibility, right? Total anonymity.
Yes. We have avatars that friends from different countries that they come in ladies appearance, but when we listen to their voice, we know that they are not but we still we just treat them as friends. Yeah, when they are willing to come to our space and connect with us, we welcome them. Yeah.
So on and you are going to later invite those who are able to stay back to join you in entering a metaverse. But Jolene was asking, does it cost money or not? If you really want to go in and really immerse yourself into metaverse.
For the platform as a user, we don't have to spend any money. We just register an account. Then we just use the space. But for hosts, for some of the hosts or organizer or creators, we may need to subscribe to their enterprise account like Zoom. Or if you are user, you enter it without need to pay anything. But if you are host, then you may need maybe an enterprise account that can cater to and to receive others. Yeah, that is for we call it our metaverse belongs company.
So in conducting like your fellowship service, you do everything live, isn't it? That means you're
Yeah.
physically doing it live
Yeah, in real time. Yeah.
in real time. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Because there was a question whether everything is just pre-recorded and you just screen it and people come in. It's not. It's real relationship building and so on.
Yes, I think to answer Jolene's Lim question, I assume that the bandwidth must be very strong. Yes, this is one of the challenges now for Metaverse. That's why I say that it's not matured yet because our bandwidth is not so stable yet. Actually, take for example our country, our bandwidth even is not so stable for Zoom. Sometimes. So for internet, yes, we have encountered that we invited a seminary lecturer to give a sharing, but he got disconnected 7 times, throughout his whole sharing. So it's like, after a few minutes, then he got disconnected again. So this is challenges that we are facing at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, Grace, there are no more questions currently in the chat box. We have some questions prepared, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was thinking on behalf of pastors, parents who are now here with us and quite new to this. In general, I think Christians are very conservative. We tend to discourage exploring into unknowns, just in case we are caught unawares and get into trouble. But from your standpoint, having been in there and you've explored, what is your view in terms of should we discourage in general believers? I don't bother, unless you got business going in. How would you advise pastors, parents on this particular issue? If it's just a subject, talking about metaverse, would we encourage, discourage, neutral?
Because I myself, I'm a parent of 2 teens as well. So I also face the situation of many parents. But I think for churches and also, church leaders, we should actually educate worshippers on actually what is the purpose of Metaverse. Like NECF, what are you doing now is actually educate the believers. We need to educate them that Metaverse is actually used at the moment used for Christians, primarily for outreach purposes. And if you found like anyone that go into Metaverse, we actually should not be too quick to discourage them. We have to learn to listen to their story first. This is, I think, what I'm learning now as well. So if we found that our kids or our church members, they are into Metaverse or even into other technology platforms that we may not know in the future, I think we need to learn to listen to their story first. Because some of them, they might face some situation, that's why they choose another platforms. Or some, they just primarily just want to explore or learn. Yeah, this is my point of view.
So, having seen the upfront of your message on Roblox as actually almost the pioneer of Metaverse, so to speak, and they were reaching out to young children, I was noting, wow, under 25% of them are playing. So gaming would be one of the key entrants into Metaverse, isn't it? Gaming.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And so that's where parents would set up their because now gaming is so addictive to many young people, and to the extent that they actually get distracted from their responsibilities, studies, and so on. So how do you see the linkage, in terms of most young people are likely to enter this metaverse through games?
Yeah, I think I don't call that addictive because they actually found their community inside. That's where Metaverse comes in. Yeah, they have their group of friends. That's why when you say stop, don't play your games, they can't stop immediately because they are connected to their friends inside. So I mean, as parents or church members, church community, I think we have to journey with them, get to know what what games are they playing, because I have encountered sharing in other churches that during my sharing, I share about Roblox, and the person who attend adults, they are bringing their children along with their tablets and handphone, and they suddenly so shocked that their children is actually playing Roblox, so which they are not aware. So I mean, as parents, we need to know lah what games are they playing. Then from there we journey. Don't stop them immediately, but we journey with them. Maybe we have some limitation for them to enter, or even we tell them some of the risks of entering into Metaverse.
Yeah, the question on the chat is about risk, right? You're saying, is it safe? No, any risk of scammers or even security risks are posed by hackers? They like to try and hack and make trouble, sometimes because there are no boundaries for them if they can hack.
Well, not only that, if you can meet somebody who actually has sinister or, try to get you to do something you're not supposed to do, kind of thing.
Yeah, the common thing would be pedophiles doing grooming children, right? So how do you address that, Siew Lee?
Actually, there are risks everywhere. In Metaverse, to be frank, is a lot. So we need to acknowledge that even like in internet, when we are spending a lot of times online, we are exposing ourselves to many of the cybercrime as well. So same as Metaverse, beside especially the person that we are meeting, I have pastors that sharing with me that the first time he entered, he was very afraid, of unmute his mic to talk to a stranger, because we don't know who is actually speaking with we are meeting who. So there are risks actually.
Yeah, you would think the bad guys, just thinking more like, imagine the bad guys who go in this type of spaces for hunting ground, right? You would think.
Yes, I think because just now I only show you like casinos, those considered a mouse world. We have even like world with pornography, and we have even transactions of those drugs inside as well. They do transaction inside, and they will go out and they will have some communication outside Metaverse. And also, so we have to learn and also be careful in wherever platform that we are in.
So it's interesting, maybe because it's new. You said there are no legal or government jurisdiction that's controlling this space yet. Maybe it's a yet, but certainly while there are no controls, actually from a kingdom of God perspective, the opportunities are quite huge, isn't it? To share it with worlds that would not hear the gospel except through this space. Yeah.
So actually, we have friends that come in and just listen. After a while, we know where are they from, and we won't introduce them much to others. We just let them in and listen to our sharing. Yeah, because we know that they are from some countries that is politically unsafe and not so convenient to reveal themselves.
There's a question from Jean. Do you think children, but I think anybody, not just children, would tend to avoid physical friends because they're comfortable with their virtual friends? And similarly with Christians who are more comfortable with virtual fellowship. And then I have a follow-up question attached to that as well. Yeah. So what do you think if they become too comfortable with virtual, they become uncomfortable in real life, is it?
Yes, I think so, because take for example, one of my friends that we met in virtual world, from non-believers friends, he actually spent most of his time inside Metaverse. So we try to invite him out to join us in physical church activities or even meet up. It's a bit difficult because they are really very comfortable with their friendship built inside Metaverse. So when they come out, they feel that they need to meet friends with their real expressions and real appearance. So yeah, that's another challenge.
So how do you encourage that interaction and experience with others IRL in real life?
We can just try to journey with them. This is what my advice, because care for them, and I think the journey of caring and also journeying with them will help them to be more comfortable when they come to physical world. This is what I think. Even like for physical church service, we know that some believers are still prefer to be online and even YouTube, but we can't be in a physical service and start just asking them to come back without knowing what is actually their situation. So my advice is always care for them first, know their situation, and most importantly, they are connected with the Lord, and their relationship with people and the Lord is connected. This is my take lah, my personal opinion.
Thanks.
So there needs to be a real life journeying with people who are interested in the metaverse so that they don't get disconnected with the real physical world, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
So my question to that is, is God present in metaverse? So because it's a very important question, So I wanted to ask you, I mean, obviously in your message just now, you actually indicated salvation, someone put up their hand and an usher and a counselor came. So, but in your experience in running the fellowship now for over a year, could you maybe share some story of how you see God working?
Okay. Actually, when I first listened to your questions, the first thing that came to my mind is actually it's not a matter of space, location, but it's actually a matter of person, the people. So in my mind, I think of the reason why Jesus came to earth to save us from this sinful world and sinful person like us. So I personally believe that everything we do, we have to draw ourselves and also the people around us to be connected back to God. This is a mission and also our primary objective. And for now, inside Metaverse, throughout our Christian fellowship, I can share one incident where a non-believer Buddhist friend joined us for about 1.5 years. It's actually joined us since the beginning until now. We can slowly see that even though that he keep on claiming that he's a Buddhist, but he still come. So after 1.5 years, his dad was diagnosed with cancer, and he actually asked us to pray for his dad. But because he's also based in Malaysia, so we also make a point to go to the hospital and visit his dad before he passed away. So after in last July, this friend of us, the Buddhist friend, he decided to accept the Lord after we asked him. So this is one of the consider a very good learning for us of journeying him from day one until now for around 78 weeks or more. So I believe God can work through us in anywhere.
So it's
my
the
answer.
important thing is the relationship building.
Yeah.
And the care is still going to have to be physical, especially in sickness. But if it is an emotional, it could still be on metaverse, isn't it? Because you could talk in that sense. Yeah.
Yes. We still can journey some with like emotional needs in metaverse. Yeah. And we also have friends that runs counseling session in Metaverse, but that is from the States, from US. They started a counseling session. They asked their it's a consulting firm, but they asked their client to just log into Metaverse with their avatar on, and they start a private conversation session, avatar and between avatar and avatar. So this is what they're doing now. I think it's a very initial stage of trial.
Wow. I actually had a question on that, especially since you're training to be a counselor, right? How do you do counseling if you can't see the face? If you say the avatar is on, you can't see the posture, the expressions, and help to read that person so that you can respond appropriately as a counselor.
That I can't answer because I haven't graduated yet. And also my training is basically on physical, it's on church counseling. It's not a certified counselor, but it's on basically for pastoral care and church counseling, where we still what do you call it? We taught to counsel someone face to face. So this is a very new aspect yet that I think no lecturer is teaching this yet lah. Counsel people.
You haven't heard sharing from your friends who've started doing that, you say avatar to avatar.
Yeah, but basically it's from their conversation, just from the conversation and from their voice, step by step.
Yeah.
This is what I know, yeah.
So there's a question on whether the metaverse, which obviously can come in all kinds of forms, and it's whether it's good for children or people with Down syndrome in terms of relationship and relating. I don't know whether this is a subject that you would be comfortable to answer.
I think I'm not trained in this area yet, so I think I'm not at a position to answer these questions. Yeah. But I do know that some medical field, they are using that as a training for their medical students on how to do the surgery in Metaverse. Yeah, as a practice. That is on medical side. But for Down syndrome, this is a very new topic. I haven't touched this yet. Yeah. So sorry for that.
Yeah. That's fine. But what you are opening up to us, for example, you can buy property in Metaverse and actually take spaces to run a church in this universe town and do transactions. I mean, I'm seeing like we can literally have another world that where we just live there one of these days, when it's so well developed. Do you see it? I mean, is that even possible?
I think it's possible, but for now, because of the technologies and also our gadgets is not so ready yet, so it's still in the not so matured state. Because in the future, because now you can see that our avatars is not so real yet, but until a day that avatars it looks real, like just like us, so yeah, it will be another phase of emerging technologies.
Yeah, I happen to be reading or hearing some talk on how there's a Web3 coming. We are now on Web2, I think, isn't it? World Wide Web. We are on Web3, or the next one, if it's Web3 or Web4, that will really enable, more real engagement in digital world.
Yeah, we're already in Web3, just that we need to make sure that all the supporting technologies are matured at the same time. Yeah. But even like the VR headset that we are using is too heavy. Yeah, it's not comfortable. Yeah. So unless it will come to a state that maybe it's just like our glasses that we put on, then it will become a booming industry. Everyone can afford to get one and also enter Metaverse for their work, for their school, for even their other communication.
I wanted to ask you showed different ways we can transact with Metaverse. one of which the hybrid. Is there a Malaysian church that actually is hybrid in Metaverse? Cornerstone, I think, is the Singapore Cornerstone, is it?
Cornerstone is in the state. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is the US
yeah.
one. But is there any here in Malaysia or Southeast Asia? Or you had Indonesian, but Malaysia. Besides besides your fellowship, which is not of you don't call it a church, you call it a fellowship, right?
Yeah. No, we don't. I think we don't have yet. Yeah, in Malaysia. Yeah.
Okay, some people out there, opportunity.
Referring to the question by, I think, Margaret, will you accept someone now who need counseling in physical? I'm from Hospital Ministry Resources. So what I do, I refer to, I have some context that I can refer you to Christian counselors if you want. Yeah, this is what I do. I don't do it myself. Yeah, I do referrals.
Okay.
Is that a resource you are able to share in the chat, or how would she get the resource from you, Siew Lee?
Okay.
What we can do is, I guess I could contact Margaret if you're willing, Siew Lee. Are you? And then
you know Margaret,
maybe,
right?
Not directly, but we should have her information because she would have signed up for this.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you can suggest Margaret to privately send your contact information to either me or Grace, not on the public chat. You can just put your phone number on a private message to either me or Grace, and then we will pass it to Siew Lee.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Okay. I guess, Janice, given that I don't see many questions, what we can do is conclude, because it will allow time, and for those who are able to join the metaverse exploration, isn't it?
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to again so-called promote our Facebook community. Don't forget that community. That's well, I wouldn't call it a virtual community, but it's not in real time, but it is an online community. So yeah, you can go on Facebook if you're a Facebook user and search for the Women Commission Facebook page. And then you can apply for membership. We do have a simple series of questions. And then it doesn't matter how you answer, as long as you need to answer, and then we will admit you into our community. But before we have Siew Lee tell us about this special link, Grace, do you have some concluding words for us?
Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed, learned, and kind of inspired or been thinking, because this is real and this is going to grow. It's one of those things that in this world we live in these end times, the technology world is very, very significant. So we must watch this space. I do encourage us to hearken to Siew Lee's advice to us to keep ourselves up to date regularly, because this space is exponential and explosive in growth. You hear Microsoft and Facebook, they are investing billions into creating the metaverse more and more, obviously for profit, but it's also a space of opportunity for missions, as well as for our family. So thank you very much, Siew Lee, for enlightening us. I certainly have learned a lot, and so has Janice, and I hope the rest of you as well. So I guess, Siew Lee, would you like to say a few words, sort of your thoughts to all of us also?
Yeah, usually after the talk, I will encourage you all to think why you attend this talk and what can you do for the church, yourself, and community. But of course, if I always, because I'm in the hospital ministry, I will see sickness and death. I will always say that life is limited, our time is very limited. So just start to reach out wherever we are. You don't have to come to Metaverse, it's okay. But we try to reach out wherever we are in our family and in our workplace or school. I will put a link in the chat box, but you don't have to click now. You click unless you want to off your Zoom. Before you off your Zoom, you click and go into the Metaverse because it will maybe affect the bandwidth. So you either on your Zoom or on the Metaverse. So you can actually click the link and go straight. You can register an account or you can just sign in as guest. But if you sign in as guest, you won't be able to unmute yourself. You can just jalan-jalan. You can just walk around inside. Yeah.
But before we do that, Grace is going to pray for our speaker, and then we're going to have our speaker pray for all of us.
Thank you so much, Siew Lee.